Oh, see, do you smell the grapefruit now?
I do, actually. Yeah, I do. Even I smell the grapefruit. Even I smell the grapefruit.
Okay.
I know, what do we go?
I know. Feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good. Okay. All right, Rach.
Did you press play yet?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at you go.
See, my brain finally turned on. It took
job.
me 3 hours.
So, I got it. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, hang on. Mm-hmm.
Just need to hydrate. Now. Da-da-da. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Rach, take us
All
away.
right, onward.
Onward and upward.
I'm just gonna look this over really quick. I'll cut out the dead air. I just want to see where I'm at here. Okay, try to get to that. All right. We're gonna try. All right, friends. The last time I left off with my hoarding series, I left you fighting for your space.
Okay.
If you love your space, or if you know that you need it, you have to protect it. You have to fight for it, because stuff is always coming into our lives. Always. So this is easier said than done, right? I know. It is really, really hard. Much harder for some than others, and that's okay. You are among friends. I forget the statistic. It's something like in the US, like 5 million people, or 1 out of 10, or something like that. It's a high number.
Okay.
It's a pretty high number.
That struggle with hoarding.
That struggle with hoarding.
Well,
yeah.
you talked about it in another podcast, but all the storage units that pop up all over the world
Mm-hmm.
in the most desolate, back farm towns, there's,
It's getting worse.
they're everywhere. Now they're multi-level climate control.
Right.
It's almost getting worse since like people are making it socially acceptable to be like, here, all you need for more stuff is to
More
rent
stuff.
Show
a space
storage
to
wars.
put it.
Mhm.
It's like, well, I think actually, most people have a hard time separating sentiment from practicality. It's wonderful when they are one the same, but that can't always happen. I try to have things that I need also be things that I love, but that takes a lot of extra work and patience. Many things I waited years for till I found the right one, quote unquote. Most of those things we still have and use every day. We have used the same pots and pans since we got married, the same plates, like the essential things. I wanted white plates and I wanted a certain kind, like a heavy white plate. I really looked hard for leading up to marriage to get just the right thing, and I still love it and I still use it. And so I do think there's an incredible payoff to waiting till you find the right thing. I'm not saying use paper plates until you find the right dish set, but like saving up for something that you love and waiting till you find it will pay huge dividends in the rest of your life.
It's like delayed gratification.
Yes, and it will just, if it resonates with you and you actually love it and you love to use it, you'll take better care of it. It'll last you through decades, years or perhaps decades of your life without it bothering you.
Right,
Because some people are just like, oh, I don't really like it, but, and it's like, if you don't like it, then try to find something that you do. You use this every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Every day.
I mean, you knew about that before you were even married. Like that
Yeah.
stuff didn't even like cross my brain.
And I know that it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways that I am special needs. I was gonna end on special, but I think it's a little bit more than that. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. It's one of
But
the
you
ways
were
I'm
like that when you were a kid.
born.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
swear.
Like
you're
I
outside.
didn't have a wedding registry. I mean, I think I was the other extreme where wedding registries weren't really a thing when we got married. At least up in the county, it was a little bit offensive, a little bit like,
who do you think you are to have a registry?
really?
Like, let people get you what they want to get you type deal. Now it's a whole, I mean, obviously it makes sense, but nobody did that back then.
Now it's flipped.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, you could have gotten me something off my registry. That's
Right,
what I
yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. So I just had the thin white Vine Corelle dishes. You know, the Corelle dishes that are unbreakable if you drop them, whatever. But that's what somebody gave me, and that's what I used for a long time. Until I met you. Kevin, we lived in a shoebox apartment. Kevin outfitted the whole thing from yard sales, and I really was blissfully happy.
Mhm.
Nothing matched, nothing. Whatever I was given for decor is what I put on my walls. My life changed forever when Rachel walked up the stairs of my apartment. I remember it was a Boyd's Bears hanging, like a tapestry hanging, that this wall's naked, so slap it up there. We hardly know each other. She walks up the stairs, does a visceral like, ugh! What is that? I was like, I don't know, someone gave it to me for my wedding, and she's like, no, it's coming down. And I was
Okay,
like,
well,
okay.
I am
But
so
then
sorry.
But then she always fixed it. She always put up. Do you know what I mean? Whatever you spoke about with great disdain, you were like, I have this. Let's use this. And I was like, oh, I love it.
Oh my
But that's when my
gosh.
world changed. Of like, okay, I do have a style. I just didn't know.
Oh
Right.
my word.
And now I know what I like. And Kevin would come home in the early years because she'd rearrange things, or I'd be like, I hate my house. He's like, do you hang out with Rachel today? And I'm like, yes.
I'm really surprised. Like so many reasons that you still love me because I really had no tact.
But
for
you always
so
fixed it. I think if you were just like, your house is hideous, but you were like, let me just show you the way.
God
is
has really, he's really worked on me for a lot of years, and now I can approach anybody, I think, with much more kindness.
Well, I've moved 10 times, and you have moved me all 10 times.
I don't know that cringes me when I'm like, how did people put up with me? I was so opinionated, and
But you love well, Rach.
You do.
You are
You love
very
well.
opinionated, and you were very.
But you came up with a solution. It
Yeah,
wasn't just
you
a
were-
jerky statement. It was like, let me
You
just
came and did
run
my
downstairs.
registry with me. We did
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
World Over Imports.
Oh, well, my word, I remember.
Oh
You're like,
my
no, this, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, so
Well, I'm apologizing in a huge blanket statement to anyone that I was harsh with. I do think that there's some things, not about decor as much, because I think that's more personal preference
yeah.
and your vibe, and that's so different.
It
It
is.
ranges. It's a huge range. And there's nothing wrong or right about it. You know, even
Yeah.
though I was like, well, I don't like it.
She made me
Well,
tabby top curtains because she's like, that lace is hideous. And I was like, but she made me tabby top curtains. Who does that?
tabby top.
You know, the tabs, the tabby curtains, she made them. And I
I
was
knew
like,
what you meant. I just couldn't.
what can I say if she's going to make me curtains? You're right there, it
You
is.
could say, wow, you are really opinionated. I don't know if we can be friends.
No.
Oh my word. Yeah. Redemption. This is the redemption
Yeah.
talking now. So, but I do think that there are lines where you have to be firm and sometimes harsh, but it's kind of like a tough love situation. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Courting
yeah,
is a tough love situation.
definitely.
Sure. Like we'll press into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Lost my place here. Okay. Some things over time have been replaced. They've worn out, or I found something that I like even better. But that philosophy of what I like and what I need, what I love and what I need, if they can be one and the same, still guides a lot of the choices that I make as to what comes into our home. Because like then it's kind of like a killing two birds with one stone. You know, it's like this is comfortable and I love it, or this is something we need and I love it. The way it looks, the way it functions, and it makes sense to me, and it's doesn't take up too much space. If it doesn't check both boxes, I am more wary and stressed by it, and chances are it won't stand the test of time and will soon be passed on to a different life. If I sense that the balance of space in my home has been offset, I will do whatever it takes to get it back. Kids was hard, like having littles. I remember that we had a different house back then when they were really little, and I was so thankful that our house was separated into more rooms. Right now it's like a big open space, and it's harder with kids' toys.
Yeah.
Because I had a little playroom, and I even had a closet in the playroom. And so every day toys are just one of those things where it's like, blah, Like it's hard for me. It was always hard for me. There's some that are kind of aesthetic, but for the most part, it's a lot of littles, and I don't like little stuff. I like big pieces, a blanket, a pillow, and I'm good, and some very simple art on the walls, and that's it. I'm not like, I don't like little things.
Yeah.
Toys are little things. There's so many little things. So we had trunks, shelves, closets, and we would take and reorganize everything pretty much every day. I mean, at the end of every day, I wanted it reset and simple. But it's kind of like I would do whatever it took to get back to the simple. And we would cull the toys hard every birthday season and every Christmas season. We would do, we would take toys and put a bunch of them in the attic.
That's a good idea.
A big tote where we would, sort of like favorite ones, but they've been played with a lot. I highly recommend, if you're in those years, having a big old trunk or a couple totes in your attic or somewhere where the kids can't get to, hiding half the toys.
It's such a good idea.
And then in a whole nother season, you can go up there with them and have them take some of those toys that are in their playroom and do trade, and they will get into it.
Yeah.
And that doing that exercise with my kids from a very, very young age taught them that you can have stuff, but it doesn't always have to be in your living space. And that taking breaks from things is a good, healthy thing. And also, we used the opportunity to cull. So we would have them help us be like, there's giveaway, there's put away for later, and then there's get rid of. And they would help do that. And there's always garbage. Whenever you do toys with kids, there's actual garbage in those toy boxes. There's paper plates that they made into frisbees, and there's candy wrappers and all the things. And so it's such a good, I mean, that's a little tangent, but it's a good tangent. It is, and that's one of the things that some people end up hoarding is toys or things anything for children, but like that has to be revisited often.
So often.
Or else, like clothes, bedrooms, toys. You've got to revisit and circle back. I almost think once a season, if you can.
Before birthday, before Christmas.
Before birthday, before Christmas, for toys. It feels so good to cull a toy box before Christmas, and then you can fill it with new toys.
I'll tell you what we did when the kids were little, all the time when they were little. We used to have like 2 yard sales a year. Like I've gotten tired since then, but we used to have a spring and a fall. And we'd give each kid a tarp outside, and we'd say, you can sell whatever you want to sell. And whatever money you make is yours. And you'd be shocked at what they, you know what I mean? Because before, be like, I don't know, I love it. I might play with it. They never touched it. But if they thought they could get cash. And then we would take them shopping afterwards to get 1 or 2 things. You know what I mean?
Aww.
And then in later years, when we stopped doing yard sales, I said to the kids, those big black trash bags, I said, I'll pay you $5 for every trash bag you fill. So trash or donation. And we'd take it to Goodwill. And so just yesterday, London, literally, she filled 4 trash bags of clothes, toys, crafty things that I paid her $20. And she went and bought herself a pair of Crocs. You know, she had to put some money into it. But but they love that, and it also gives them incentive too. So
and they learn.
Yeah, so
they're
much.
learning,
and they feel happy once the room, like it's stressful in the moment when it's done. But she's like, I love the cozy vibe.
Yes, and they've seen how it gets worse before it gets better. You have to make a lot of choices. These are really important things to teach children, because children become adults.
So true.
And they become them
shockingly fast.
Quickly. Yes, exactly. I was like, they become adults quickly. And even teens, I was like, this is a wonderful thing that a teenager can do with a day that they just need to be home and they just want to vibe. I was like, have them, pay them to clean their deep clean their room.
Well, when they get ready to go to college, we have or even with Emma when she moved out, like what are you going to take with you? So like Parker's now starting that process where he's looking at his room. He's like, okay, what am I bringing to college? What's going to stay home? How do we organize that? And so it is important for them to learn that. They started, we did the exact same thing, and now they have this understanding. So like Parker was like, hey Mom, do you think my plants will make it in college? I was like, I do. I think it's going to be tricky about us getting
them there.
Getting them there. What's in my hair? There's something in my hair.
I can't reach it. Down here.
Sorry. it just a random gray hair that?
No, it's a white
it's a
thing.
white thing.
But yeah, so we like his plants. What posters do you want to keep? Isabel did the same thing,
Yeah.
where she condensed, and this year she's condensing even more.
Yeah.
We're like, okay,
Yeah,
guys.
that happens. Yeah.
And now with Emma, she has stuff up in the attic. It's like, okay, everyone's gonna get those 2 or 3 black totes with the yellow tops from Home
Sam's
Depot.
Club or Home Depot.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they stack up really well.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 3.
Okay.
You get 3. You get because
That's
I
generous to keep in your.
well because
Well, if they're coming back.
yeah
But-
for the coming back.
yeah.
So like and then we can cull those down even more. But
But they
like
go in the attic or just
the attic.
Yeah.
And so that because rooms change and
yeah.
you know like
People
Parker's
change.
room was Emma's room, and now it's
Yeah.
Parker's room, and now Parker's leaving, and now we have only one, and so it's like we have to.
And if Thomas
just-
wants a bigger room, can
Yeah,
he have that?
yes,
Yeah.
because it's his
Mhm.
house now.
Yes.
It's only he's the one there, and
Yeah.
so like it takes away that.
That ownership too. That's not really ownership. in
Yeah,
a
it's
way, a
really
little
good for
bit.
them.
It is.
Mhm.
It's hard, but it's
It
good.
is.
Speaking to the other side of the college years, I remember going up to in my parents' house, helping my mom. This is years and years and years ago, but one thing that was really stressing her is in one of the bedrooms was living boxes and piles of old high school memorabilia from both my brothers. They were both football stars. They had helmets, footballs, lots of gear, the jackets, like all this stuff, but that they didn't take those to college with them because now they're playing for a different
And
college.
they probably yeah.
And you're not gonna
Take them to their new houses.
So it's always no. So
Yeah.
one brother was actually both, and I think when we went through this, both had grown up, college, marriage, such a different season. And who was left with all this stuff? My mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, we can't just throw it out. That would be disrespectful. But we did go. She went to each boy and said, do you even want any of this stuff?
Mhm.
And I think a few of the things went that she shipped or gave to them, but literally the rest of it got donated. And actually, many years later, I was in an antique store.
Oh my goodness.
And at one point, my dad had made a window box, a shadow box for my brother Josh, and it had like all of his pins and the Hamden Academy and all the things, and it was in this window box, and it was in an antique store for literally like
Oh, my word.
$140.
Oh my word.
It was.
Did you take a picture and send that to Josh?
I did.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's my brother. That was his. My dad made that. But it was like he didn't really want that because it's like, what am I gonna do with it? It's in a box here or it's in a box here.
Mhm.
Either
Yeah.
way, it's in a box. It doesn't really. It's like they would have all the memories. There's lots of great pictures of my brothers when they were playing in football, and like, so it's like the memory's there.
Right.
You don't need the
It's-
things.
And it's
anymore.
unkind. That's the Swedish death cleaning in reverse, almost, because
Yeah.
like that's unkind to your mom. Not that they were intentionally being unkind, but I feel that way. Like that's how I feel about my house
They
because
left her with a mess.
yeah, because we had the biggest house. We have when Jean downsized and my mother-in-law
Mhm.
and when my brother-in-law like all of these like we had the attic and so we've put a kibosh on that and we're gonna keep downsizing.
Yeah.
And
And it's okay.
and it's okay. And at some point you can
Yeah.
scan all your pictures and like you know what I mean? Like I have
Or have a funeral fire. I love that.
Yes.
it's so because it is a lot.
It's a lot. And my mom had 6 kids.
Mhm.
I did. I left back behind artwork, paintings, and it took years. Some of this will take years. It's like it took years to do it respectfully with your kids. It takes time.
So I'm not
'cause,
offended.
you have to
The
literally
problem
be
is,
like,
is just put it in a box and give it to them and say, "Here you go." Like
that's
if
right.
you
That's
want to
what I
throw it
would
away,
do.
if
Yeah,
you,
that's right.
that's what,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm gonna do. That's what those 3 that like I'm gonna be generous because they're still young and they don't know who they're gonna be, so they're gonna get 3 totes. You
Yeah.
want it to stay forever, you put it in the tote.
Yep.
And it goes.
The
up in
funny
attic,
thing is
and then
that
it's
once-
going to your house.
Like Parker comes back from college, he's gonna be a different person. He's gonna be a grown man, and he's literally gonna be like, "Wow."
And what was his? That's what I tell the boys. What's your life right now? High school's a blip.
Yeah.
It's the blippiest blip of your whole life. And most times, those friends aren't even your lifelong friends.
Yeah.
It's your college and adult years. But this is your world right now. It's going to be the weirdest, most bizarre thing.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
And you spent the most years, your pivotal growing up years, but it's
Yeah.
you didn't know who you were yet.
No, I still don't know who I am. That's not true. When I think of everyone that I've ever met and helped, observed, everyone has a different sense of the balance of space to stuff. It's very personal. It's a feeling. The internal sense of whether things literally have tipped the scale from peaceful to chaotic, from tidy to messy, from order to disorder, from spacious to cluttered. As you think about your home, what parts of it bring you a sense of peace, and what is happening when it starts to feel stressy?
And I would say that different people's aesthetic is different, and so
Yeah.
I think that will be different
Totally.
because, like,
It is true. Yeah.
my Emma has cottagecore vibes.
Yeah,
so,
we
like,
talked about that, how it's more,
It's like, but
there's
it's
more
organized. It's more like, or we have a mutual friend that has a lot of things, but it's all very organized. It's not. It feels cluttered maybe to me, but not to her. It doesn't. She's able to clean it all and do it all, but.
Absolutely.
So,
Mhm.
I guess
I'm
to
trying
be
not
a
to come-
hoarder, a hoarder doesn't mean not minimalist. Like, you're not saying
No.
you have to be a minimalist. And I want to just reiterate that because I know that's not what you're saying. But when
Yep.
people see your house, they're like, I don't want to live like that.
I mean, even my studio, I don't feel like this is minimalist up here.
No, it's not.
It's an art. It's like a
This
place
is
to create.
eclectic arts. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a place of creating. But I wouldn't want my home to be this.
Right.
This feels cluttered to me.
Right.
Here,
Yes.
because there's lots of little memories and things, but that speaks to me writing books and me
Yep.
doing illustrations and all the things. So
it
it's
feels right. It feels right up here.
it feels right up here.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's what's tough about this. That's what's tough to even write about it and to talk about it, is because it does get connected to decor. It does get connected to the vibe, because some people cross the line with decor. They're trying to do too much. I had last year, I was writing back and forth to somebody, and I think she listens to the podcast, but she wanted more of my style, and I could tell what she was going for. Now, I don't want to go rabbit trail this too much, but the long and short of it was, style became this obsession to the point where she was just buying more and more stuff.
Style.
And
To
more
look the
decor.
style. Yeah.
But when you put it all on a wall, or it's in piles, or there's too much, it no longer even looks like a style. It looks just like clutter. It
It's like
looks
Hobby
like
Lobby.
stuff. It looks like literally like,
Hobby
well,
Lobby.
I know exactly where you got every single thing in here, and it's just not. It doesn't all work together.
And I can't imagine how you wouldn't love, like, what I love about how you've taught me to do stuff when it comes to my style, because my style is different than your style, but we do it in the same way, is that you shouldn't be able to go into your space, or a great style, I would say, you shouldn't be able to go into a space and go, Hobby Lobby, Target, Spot, Dollar Spot, Magnolia, Hobby Lobby, Magnolia, Walmart, Target. Like, you shouldn't be able
You're
to
gonna
do
touch
that.
a nerve with that
Yes,
comment.
because some
because
people
a
are-
lot of people do that, and
But-
it's,
but
true.
it's-
It's more common now than ever.
I know, because
It's
they're messing with you.
Cookie cutter style,
Yeah.
which I resist hard.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, if they love JoJo,
Yep.
they'll do their whole house JoJo.
Yep.
So it is
Oh,
true.
Joe.
Like
Oh,
Magnolia.
I was like,
Yeah.
who's JoJo?
Magnolia, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
So,
Joanne.
but
I think
Yeah.
she and other people like her over the years have made it the closest to trying to feel like
Right.
you have a sense of style
But
without
she also
having a
wants
sense
to
of
make
style.
she also wants to make money, and so she's now
Yeah, she hones in on what lots of people love, and because of social media, it can be cool to have this or this or this or
Right.
this.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't have pieces of it, but there should be your person. Like, that's
your personality.
where are you in that? That's not you. That's
Exactly.
Joanna.
That's
That's
so good.
Joanna Gaines.
It's a very
That's
good
Walmart.
question.
That's Hobby Lobby. Like, where are you?
That's
like,
very good.
Mhm.
That's really good.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
You
like
got-
letting that. I'm letting this filter, because that's a whole nother podcast.
It really
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But that's what
Yeah.
you showed me what to do. Like, when
Yeah.
you would come in, and especially when my kids were little and I needed you, because I was just like, I'm drowning in humans. That's what it would be. So, like, when you go into my house, I do have eclectic things. My style's a little bit different than yours. I have more things, but, like, I have I love wooden bowls. Like you love
Yeah,
boxes,
you
I
have
love bowls.
nautical. You've got
Yeah.
some antiques in there.
I have-
you have.
I'm much more French country.
French, you
yeah.
love lots of blue and greens
Yep.
and like it has a more plants everywhere versus
Yes.
so everyone has their own. Even if you don't have a sense of style, that's how are you showing up? If I walk into your apartment, what am I going to see? If it's the absence of style, that says a lot about you. I mean, it means that you literally don't care when you walk through the door. Like you don't care.
Some people don't though. I'm just
Yeah,
telling you,
and
some
that's
people
okay.
showing houses.
A lot of people who are academics
Mhm.
who love to learn and
Yeah.
they don't. Their brain
House is a
doesn't
landing
even.
pad.
It's a
You
landing
sleep.
pad. It's a
Mhm.
place to sleep
Yeah.
and eat and they don't.
And that's okay too.
But however, if you get wealthy, you'll see that people without an aesthetic pay someone for theirs.
Or-
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that's true.
You pay a designer.
Yeah,
Right.
You have a
Yep.
Which is a
interior
niche
design.
I've always thought I
You
could do
would be
that.
good at
Yeah, you'd be
I
good at
could
that.
do
You
that in a
could.
heartbeat.
Yep.
If I had to, if Kurt dies and I no longer
Which, when you watch Joanna's show, they
That's-
did do. They
that's what
sat
she-
with the couple and said, "What is your style? What colors do you love? What you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
what yeah.
you know,
And she did. She was a great. She is a great designer. Now it's just been cookie cuttered, and
Right.
that's
Mhm.
good for them.
Genius. Great for you.
Good
Yeah.
for them. Not my
yeah.
cup of tea, but
Hey, I think it mixed. I love a lot about Magnolia. I like it mixed. I don't love the fake, so
Mhm.
I don't do any of the fake stuff. That does not bring me joy at
Yeah.
all. To
Like
have
your
a
fake leaves and
plant
stuff.
and all
yeah,
the things.
yeah.
But some people don't have time or
Right.
the ability or
An
whatever
apartment
or the
they-
joy. It doesn't give them joy to go out on a walk and collect berries and make a wreath. That gives me joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That gives me joy. That's
Right.
part of who I am.
Right. That is a great point.
But not everybody has. Even Henry's like, Mom, I kind of like the fake plants. That way I don't have to feed it. And I'm just like,
No.
You're my child. No, but seriously, I almost bought him one for his birthday, but he was just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not quite the same thing, but
But it's I do think that is
That's awesome.
finding, and even like Peter, like he's more of a clutter bug. So I've told him in our forever house, he loves books.
Mm.
I finally got the books out of my living space because
love
we had
books.
6 like cubes and like bookshelves and bookshelves and bookshelves. And I told him, I was like, when we build our forever house, we're having a
A
library.
library.
And it's
With
going to
the
be
ladder that
floor to
goes-
ceiling, yep, with a ladder that goes up.
Yes.
And you are going to organize every one of those books. But until we have that kind of space,
Yeah.
they're going in the attic. And he was like, fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I'm not asking him to get rid of them.
Yeah.
yes, right.
And he's letting me understand that
Mhm.
I can't suffocate in books any
Right.
longer.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yes,
So that's
he's
what's
an
gonna happen.
actual bibliophile,
He is a bibliophile.
which is its own aesthetic, which is wonderful if you have the space to make it make sense.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And so the
That's a good one.
what I speak into here is when your sense of style is getting cramped by just the sheer amount of stuff.
Style. Yeah. Or
And
desire.
it could be anything. It could be needed things, quote unquote, because nobody needs that much stuff, really. When you go camping or you go on vacation, why do you think we all feel so relaxed in a hotel?
I think, amen. Amen.
There's nothing in there. It's tidy and spacious, and you don't feel stressed. That's why we all love to check into a hotel room.
Or pretend to be homeless, i.e. camping.
Like, I mean, I don't love that much, but I do think it's a very good checking of how much you really need.
But you can
Yeah.
cook 3 meals a day with 2 totes. And
You can set up a little camp kitchen with
Mhm.
just 1 tote's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
You can live for a whole week. We
Yeah.
go for camping for literally a whole week, and it's just what fit in our car in a trailer,
Mhm.
like a little trailer. It's the
Yeah.
size of this table. Well, twice the size of this table, but it comes down to sleeping. And anyway,
yeah.
so many tangents, so
Yeah.
many things that we could go
Sorry,
deep on.
I
no,
probably
it's so
started.
good. I loved everything about
Yeah.
that, and it's all part of this
Right.
in
Yeah.
its own way.
But I think what that happens is I think a lot of times, as somebody who's not as like me and Amy, we have a style, but it doesn't come as naturally, I would say, as Rach. Like I
I
can
think
get,
it does now.
it does now, but what
Yeah.
it took was me becoming confident in what I like and what I don't like.
Mhm.
And me not being able to be persuaded. Consumerism is huge. Like
Yeah,
we
it's a real
are
thing. It's an
we are
addiction.
being, it is an
It's an
addiction.
addiction.
there is a dopamine hit when you go to Target and you buy a new candle or you buy a new rug or a new pillow.
There's
or
a new
throw-
dopamine hit when you curl up on the sofa and you go online shopping. I do that.
Yeah.
And that's like this.
Yeah.
You
And so
know.
what I think it is that we can be easily swayed if you're not confident and trust your gut and trust and love what you have. If you don't love what you have in your house, when you go into Target and you go into the Magnolia area, you can be like, ooh, that looks so cute how they did that little display there. I'm gonna buy that.
I need that $80 pillow.
Or
That my
when you go
dog's gonna lay
into
on.
when you go into Hobby Lobby and there's the aisle of the cows, you're like, oh my gosh, look at how cute these look. Oh, and all of a sudden you have cows on your wall.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? But
I
like
know.
that's what happens when you don't
Yeah.
love your stuff,
Yeah.
and you don't love or you're not confident in what you love. So I
Right.
think if you go back to that culling and you really love something,
Yeah.
you're not gonna buy anything else because you'll be like, meh.
You might have the urge, but you could say at that point you have to have the conversation in your head. What do I value more? Like a nice orderly cupboard with the dishes that I already have, or do I want to add like this new set? I love the black plates by Magnolia. That's a really good example.
Yeah.
I do not have space. I'm not willing to give up my white plates that I've used
Yes.
since
Yeah,
the beginning of my marriage. I
Yeah.
love those black plates. I really, really do. I think that I could make a table setting out of those look dynamite. But I don't have a space.
Yeah.
I have a pretty small kitchen. I don't have a lot of storage because I chose not to. I chose not to have storage because I like space. I like my walls. I like being able to see my windows and just walls, not windows and cupboards filled with stuff. So that was the choice that I made.
Right.
So
You're honoring your
what
choice.
comes with that choice is that I only have space for a few dishes.
Guys, we need to take her shopping. We should do a YouTube video where we because I'm telling you, it was shopping
No.
with you that made
no.
Yes.
do that.
You don't
well,
need
no,
that.
but
you
no,
don't need
watching
that.
you look at stuff because you'll go in.
having
Like
those
I've gone,
conversations.
Yes.
I've gone
No,
shopping with
totally.
her, and I
Mhm.
hear her in my head sometimes when I go shopping,
Oh, I
because-
watch her shop. She'll hold it.
and she'll
She'll
be like,
look at it.
"Hmm."
She'll touch it.
Sometimes I'll be in the cart for a little while.
Yep.
and then
Yep.
go back.
I always have a think about it section in my car. I want to think about it.
Yeah, me too.
Or like I've seen you look at wooden spoons, and you're like, no.
Do you know what I'm doing? I am picturing my wooden spoons. I am picturing my kitchen. I am picturing would
Where would
I
I put
use this?
Mhm.
Yes.
My utensil thing is chock full. I can't fit anything else in there, and my utensil drawer is chock full.
So what I think, what would have to leave?
What would have
Yes.
to leave if I want this new spoon that says France on it,
I'll get you one.
and there you go, wooden spoon.
I'll get you one
From Burberry.
Oh my
I don't think they make them. They won't. You're safe.
word.
I am having that conversation, whether it's a pillow for my sofa, whether it's a pillow cover for my sofa pillows, whether it's something that's going to go in my utensils, whether
So
it's a
genius.
plate, whether it's a potted plant. Do I have the space for this? Will it look good in my home?
Right.
And all the things. So it's a lot of thinking. You have to think. You have to think more about the situation than the thing itself. Because yes, things in a shop are designed to make you want them.
Right.
Things in that beautiful aesthetic are designed to make you want to take that and put it in your house. Is it going to match your aesthetic? Is it going to just be plopped on?
Now that we're talking about that, I don't want the tea kettle anymore. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Because it doesn't match.
Wonderful.
And I have a tea kettle on my stove. I'm like, I don't need that. I can just heat the water. I like the speed
great.
of it. I like the speed of it, but I don't
Yeah.
drink tea enough. So
Beautiful.
Look at
That is something I
Thank
was
you.
trying to get rid of because Kurt bought me the one that I've wanted for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so for Mother's Day, and so now the one from Amazon goes bye-bye.
Yeah,
And I
so-
might take it, and then I'll give
Okay.
mine to Izzy for college.
Win, win, win,
Win.
and win.
And
Look
we
at
should
that.
probably wrap it up right here.
I mean, honestly, we've done this for another half hour, and I still didn't get through another page.
Sorry.
So good.
This
It's a
is the
series.
thing. I
It's
love
our
it.
series.
It's a series.
But I do think it's something like I think we should challenge our viewers. Like I want you to walk around your house and like get those go to the dollar store and get the little like circles. And I want you to put things on things that like you love.
Oh,
Like,
I love this. I love
You know
this.
what I mean? Like, go around and be like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be
You're
like,
gonna put sticky notes on everything you love.
just no, on the things that I love, I'll pick a color like white because it won't show
Sounds like so
up.
much work.
This is
But,
interesting.
but
I'm
like
curious.
no, because then I'm trying to cull. I have
Okay.
another kid leaving.
Yeah.
My space is getting smaller and smaller,
Yeah.
and I want to cull. So I want to go through and say, okay, I love this, I love this, I love this, I love this, and then go through with another thing. I like it, I like it, I like it. I
Well,
don't
do you know
need
what
it.
Marie Kondo would say?
Does it
Shout out to
spark?
Marie Kondo.
Spark
Does
joy?
you have to hold it.
Yeah.
You have to touch it. If you can't, if it's a piano, then just touch it.
Uh-huh.
But you have to hold the thing. What she would say, whether it's a sock,
Mhm.
whether it's
Then
a
you
sweater,
thank
whether
it.
it's a plate, whether it's a plant, whether it's whatever, you hold it and you say, "Does this spark joy?"
Yeah.
And if it doesn't spark joy,
Out she goes.
out she goes. I mean, unless it's literally like a plug for my hairdryer, but it's like, do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
Like, we're
Does
talking like, is this thing giving
useful?
me joy?
Yeah,
Is
is it?
Or do you need that many? I'm thinking right now what I want to go home and call this my kids' water bottles, thermoses. Like I don't need as many as I have. It's nice to have if one gets lost or one, but realistically,
you could even have extra out in
Yeah.
the bar. We have
Yeah.
water bottles. We have filled one drawer. So hard lines in the sand is like also a good rule
Mhm.
for people that struggle with
Mhm.
with clutter and with collecting things.
Yeah.
Have really hard lines in the sand. Once your drawer is filled with Tupperware, you do not get to start another
Yes,
Tupperware drawer.
absolutely, yeah.
You do not get to start a Tupperware shelf
right.
in the kitchen. You do not get to
Right.
have like other spillover things. Once your shelf is filled with cookbooks, you cannot start another shelf.
Yeah,
But
I
I
like
think
that.
with the sticker thing, if you guys do that, I think it will start showing you your style. Don't you think? Like
If you
you
don't
start.
have a sense of style and you need
Yeah.
to figure out in your home, what do I really love?
Like
I
for
think
that
that's
person
great.
who's buying everything, not, and again, I don't mean this as a diss, but like if you look and it's like everything's from Hobby Lobby, you just keep buying more decor. Hold that decor and go, do I love it? And if you love
Is
it,
you? Yeah.
I love it. I love how it makes me feel. I love how it looks. I love how it smells. Whatever it is,
Mhm.
put a sticker on that. And if it doesn't, set it aside, or just set it aside. But
The
then
sticker's stressing me,
Me
but
too.
okay.
The sticker's stressing me.
Okay.
I think you open up your cupboard and you're like, cups are overflowing. You don't need that many cups. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. You fill a box. That's what I do. When I get in a purgy mood, I put a box on my cupboard.
yes.
If I'm in the
yeah.
kitchen and I'm like, I'm gonna fill this box with my kitchen
Yeah.
cupboards. I'm gonna fill this box and then it's going to.
I think my brain just works in the reverse.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing you
Yes.
say, my brain says grab a trash. The challenge would be grab a trash bag and go around and try to fill the
Right.
trash bag.
Yeah.
Then then once you've done that and you found the
Right,
throwaway
trash.
stuff, then you get a box and you fill it with giveaway stuff.
okay.
And then you know what I mean?
and
Like
what's left is
We
what I
need to
love.
start
What's
giving out
left
pricey
is what-
prizes. I think we should, if you show on our Instagram or on where we do
Tag
a
us,
reel, if
tag-
you tap, well, right underneath when we do this one, if this whatever this is,
Mhm.
underneath put a picture of the box that you gave away.
Or
your
throw
name,
away.
yep, your name will be put in a raffle, and we'll pick something, and we'll send you something.
some dollars.
Some
maybe,
dollars,
some
yeah.
money.
Yeah,
because
like
I think
Something
more-
to add to your stash.
No, like a gift card to Dunkin' or because we're
Yeah,
from
that'd be
Maine
fun.
or something like that.
Yeah,
I
that
love
sounds like
that.
fun. Okay.
Yeah,
Try to beat me, guys. Over the course of this weekend, while my boys have been gone, I have thrown away, let's see, right on my porch right now because my trash bags are filled, my trash bins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 bags of trash.
Oh my
and I took
word.
4 things to Goodwill.
good for you.
That
know,
I will
when the
not
boys
be
are
able to
away.
beat.
But a lot of it's like boxes, like cardboard boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh my word.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
well we
so
made it
good.
a little bit
it was
farther.
so good.
I love this, and I'm gonna write. I stopped here. Look, I only did one paragraph. Stop
to
here.
be continued.
This will be a very. This is interesting.
It
The
is
just in
fascinating.
case chapter
Mhm.
is where it's resonating a lot
Yeah.
with you guys. Even I got
Yeah.
through the first chapters in each single episode, but this
Yeah.
one is we're
Well,
moving. But this is good. We're
Mhm.
like sifting it out,
Mhm.
and this is what everyone else is gonna resonate with because
Mhm.
everyone has the same struggles.
Well, because most people are not hoarders. Like when I think of hoarders, I think of
Extreme.
this show
Right.
where there's like you're climbing over
Yes.
things and like.
Yeah.
But when you get to the just in case, we all fall into
We
the just
all
in case.
do.
So we all have a just in case pile. We all have extra water bottles just in case.
Right
We
now,
all
I've got
have-
extra water bottles and my things that need to be organized and checked right now in my kitchen right now that I can think of immediately is my water bottle cupboard and my Tupperware.
Yes, my
drawer.
Tupperware.
I allow for a
Oh.
drawer, and when I open it now, it goes. And I'm like,
Yes, call that Tupperware. That
Yeah.
has to be done often,
Often.
because stuff just breaks. It gets loud. The lids
Yeah.
get broken, or the thing gets broken.
Yeah.
It all has a
Yes.
story. It
Yeah.
all has a story. It's all okay. It's
Yeah.
all.
And it's not, you're not bad that you
You're
have to
not
call your
bad.
Tupperware every
No.
2 weeks.
You're not bad if you're a hoarder. You're just
You
there's
are
a-
bad if you throw away your mother's Tupperware that she packed your lunch in. And so your mother has to buy a new Tupperware weekly.
Ooh.
Jesse Booker.
Good thing you're cute.
Oh, good thing you're cute. We'll end there.
You're not bad.
Oh my
You're just naughty pants.
This is fun.
This is fun.
I could do this every
See,
day
that
for the
was
rest of my
warm.
life.
That was
Fun. Okay, so the week of
Shutting
the
you off? I just sent us a text just
yes,
to
I
remind
saw that.
us.
That was so good.